You're listening to the Truck Talk with Trivista podcast, brought to you by TrivistaCompanies.com, the ultimate source for all things trucking, and sponsored by Idealease, truck leasing and rental. I'm Anita Massey, Director of Marketing for Trivista Companies. Thanks for joining us. Today our topic is leasing through Idealease. Because Trivista Companies is one of the over 400 Idealease locations located throughout North America, we truly are a full-service transportation company. We offer our lease customers the ability to choose from a variety of trucks and trailers, including straight trucks, refrigerated trucks, day cabs, and sleepers. We also offer a variety of service packages, including full-service leasing, contract maintenance, rentals, logistics, and safety compliance programs. Today, we'll be joined by Sam Powers, General Manager of Idealease, one of the Trivista Company's dealerships. Sam has been with Truck Sales for 8 years and started out as our account manager and is now serving as our General Manager of Idealease. Sam, thank you for joining me today. Why don't you start out by giving us a brief introduction of yourself and your role here at Trivista-Idealease.
Yes, hi. Thanks, Anita. Thanks for having me out here. Great to be on Truck Talk. I'm the Idealease General Manager, as you mentioned. Been here 8 years. Great to be in a family-owned company, and we've got a great team here. And just looking forward to our talk today.
Sounds good, Sam. It's an exciting topic, I think, because I really don't know a whole lot about Idealease, but I think it's fascinating that we do offer leasing and rental through Idealease. So let's start by talking about the history of Idealease. Why don't you kind of share with me how Idealease got started?
Sure, yeah. Back in 1989, a group of dealer principals from the international dealerships came together and decided they would like to form a leasing company. Each of those dealerships had already been in some leasing, some capacity. And we're fortunate here at Idealease that one of those founders was Bernard Uhl. So he was one of the founders, and so we've been part of Idealease since the very get-go. Right now we're in all North America, so United States, Canada, and Mexico. We are the largest leasing company in North America. We've got 430 locations, roughly, and we've got a fleet of a little over 45,000 trucks in our lease and rental fleet throughout North America.
Wow, that's quite sizable. What about Idealease here at Trivista dealerships? What does that look like size-wise?
So Trivista, we're in 4 states. We're in Iowa, Ohio, Indiana, and Kentucky. Locally, we've got 3 locations in the southern Indiana and Louisville area. So personally, I've been here 8 years. Before that, my predecessor was here for 15 years. So we've got a long-term, stable team. My service director, he's been here over 40 years. And our lead tech's been here 30, and we've got multiple techs that have been here long term. So we're very stable. That's kind of one of the things you'll learn about Idealease is stability is a big part of our corporate culture. And we've had a lot of folks here a long time, a lot of experience in the industry, and same at all our Trivista locations that we're part of the community and have been around for a good while.
So you're talking even within the Cerny Motors location in Ohio and the O'Halloran International location in Iowa?
Yes, exactly. Okay. All those locations.
Good to know. What about how many dedicated service bays do we have for Idealease at each of our locations?
I can't speak to the other locations, but I do know here we have 5 dedicated bays, and we've got 3 dedicated service techs plus a service technician. Also, we've got a full-time rental manager, business manager, and then myself. So a lot of experience in this team, and so we're always ready for anything that comes up.
Sounds like we've got all the bases covered. Can you talk a little bit about what makes and models that we offer through Idealease?
Sure. We're fully integrated with international, so primarily that's what we do. We've got Class 8 tractors, and then we also have the medium-duty trucks, the MV. We can do those in any kind of configuration. It's not a cookie cutter sort of build. So we build everything to your exact specification. Your flatbeds, regular dry vans, refrigerators, dumps. So, and we also throughout Trivista can offer Mitsubishi trucks. We can also offer Isuzu, which is another sort of cab over truck. So yeah, we can meet most of your any requirement that you have. And coming up, also we have the International CV, which is a new product that fits more of the Class 4 and 5 range of truck, and we can set those up, and those will be available for lease or rent. We don't have them on rental yet, but at some point I do plan or expect that we would be able to offer those as well.
That's exciting. I know those are a hot item right now on the retail side, so I'm looking forward to getting those in. I know we offer full service and full service equity leases. Can you kind of explain the difference between these two leases?
Sure. What most people think of as a full service lease, I'll kind of explain that, and then we'll back into the equity lease. But so what you have is of course, for the customer, you have the truck, and then we take care of all the services and maintenance in a priority service type of fashion. Meaning, anything that goes wrong with the truck, you're going to go to the front of the line with one of our dedicated techs, one of our dedicated bays. So we're going to take care of that just the quickest and to get you turned around and keep that uptime to a max. That's really what it's all about with full service. That's what our customers expect, and that's what we're going to provide. So along with the truck and the priority service, we also have kind of the a la carte type things that we take care of, which we can get into as well, but we'll talk about that here in a minute. But so it's very similar to that in the equity type of lease. The major difference there is people maybe who've been in ownership and they're kind of testing the water. This gives them a way that they can transition, and also at the end of the lease term, they're then going to own the truck. So it's basically you get all the same service, you get the same truck, all the a la carte type of things, but at the end of this lease term, you're going to have the ownership, and along with that, throughout the term, you're going to also get the benefits that you would have as an owner in ownership, the depreciation and so forth.
That's pretty interesting. So with the full service lease, then it sounds like we're virtually handling every aspect of owning a vehicle, kind of the same thing, right? All the benefits like financing and the peripheral services.
Exactly, yeah. So that's exactly what it is, and then you kind of decide what other services, kind of the a la carte type of services we do, which could be fuel tax reporting, which is it's a cost to most companies because they've got to have the people, the staff to handle that sort of thing. So there's administrative costs to you, so we can provide that. We're also taking care of, the titling, the licensing and registration, which it takes, again, more administrative functions that a smaller company may not have the manpower to handle. And then in addition to that, we also can get set up truck washings for you, also substitute vehicles if you need them, depending on what type of truck. That may be something that is advantageous to you. Then also as part of this, you have the option, it's automatic. We're going to give you reduced rental rates for our customers. Things that used to be more of an a la carte option, but now is more standardized with our leases, is we're going to have a telematics GPS transponder in the truck, which in addition to give you GPS type of information, where your truck is, fuel economy, that sort of thing. We also now use that to give us a look at the health of the truck. Through Navistar's On Command, We can actually look at digital trouble codes in real time, and we can tell if you've got an issue or you think you've got an issue. We can look into what is going on with that truck and recommend a plan of action depending on what's going on with the truck. So that allows you as an owner to make better decisions. Can you continue on with a route, or is this something that can wait till the next service? So that also becomes part of this full service leasing package.
So when the truck comes in with a code, for instance, then our service techs can read that code and know what the issue has been with the truck.
So yeah, we can see that from afar, so we know as it's coming in what is going on. So we can tell them, do you have to wait? Or, they can say, hey, I'm going to be bringing this in. We can know before it gets there, maybe what parts we need. But it gives us a better game plan on when your truck is coming in, on how we're going to handle it.
That makes sense.
And again, it's about uptime, so we want to try to make sure we know as much information as we can before we actually look at the truck.
Exactly. And all of these services and functionalities that you've just mentioned, that's all done here locally at our dealership. We're not having to go through Idealease corporate, right? It's all done local.
It's all done local.
Now, don't we also offer dedicated maintenance programs as well?
We do. And that's for someone, our one of our key customers is the folks that are transitioning from ownership into leasing. And this sometimes is a way for someone who just kind of wants to dip their toe into the pool. They can get a little more of an idea of what our services are about and what full service leasing with Idealease is about. So with dedicated maintenance, if you already own a truck, then we have a program and we tailor it for whatever your needs are. You may have a shop that you want to do certain repairs. We can do as much or as little as part of the dedicated maintenance program as you want. So if you don't have anyone to take care of repairs, we can do everything. Meaning, just like with a full service lease, we take care of all repairs, whether that's an injector, brake pads, to your tires. We can take care of front to back everything. Or if you just want to know if you don't have a very good PM program and you would like for us to handle, make sure you've got those PMs performed in a timely fashion, and we can do that as well. So we're going through this 100 plus point inspection, and you're going to know then that every part of the truck has been reviewed. So we can do, like I said, as much or as little as you want. You still own the truck, but then you're still getting the priority service when you have a breakdown issue.
I didn't realize it was that comprehensive. That's amazing. Can you talk a little bit about how Idealease works with the larger national account companies versus the smaller ones, and maybe talk about the types of services that are available to each group?
Sure. So it's kind of a best of both worlds when you have that. So as a national account customer, you get all the things that come along with being national account. You're allowed to seamlessly transfer trucks between your locations. Say you've got 10 different locations throughout the region with basically just your signature and some emails. You can then transfer a truck to another location. You also get centralized billing through national account corporate, and also standardized rate structure across your fleet. So those are some things that you get as a plus from being national account. You've got an assigned AVP. You get your own rep who is going to handle...
What's an AVP?
I'm sorry, that's your vice president assigned depending on your location.
Gotcha.
So you're going to have someone that takes things straight to the top if need be. But also you're going to have local decision making as well for things more on a local basis. So
you get the best of both worlds, it sounds like, that local hometown relationship, but yet the liaison to take things for fast decision making at the top when need be.
That's exactly right.
Okay, That's good to know. You mentioned seamless transferability. Is that just within our region, or is that across the entire, U.S., Canada, Mexico area. It's the entire area, right?
It is everywhere.
Wow.
That's right.
That's impressive.
Yep.
That's really impressive. So I'm curious, do we lease other lines besides international or just international?
So we're fully integrated with international. That is basically that's our strong point. So that is the majority, 98% of what we have in the fleet. I mentioned we do have Mitsubishi, Isuzu, so we can also do some of those trucks as well. But really, that is the benefit to our customer, is that we have that direct integration with international. So we've got all the parts availability, we've got all the expert techs that come with being affiliated with international and the dealership. So yeah, that's basically one of the prime pluses that we have to offer our customers, is that we're so closely aligned and we can quickly move within the dealership system to get things taken care of.
Okay. I guess I'm looking at this from the other perspective. Are we able to transition a company from ownership of a truck down to a full service lease?
Absolutely. So last year was the first year that the majority of new trucks that rolled off of the assembly line went to leasing customers. So it's been a slow transition, but we're seeing now with the complexity of these trucks, the equipment needed to work on them, and the shortage of techs, that more folks are considering and looking at leasing as the best way to handle their business. And so that is one of our key focuses, is helping people transition from ownership to leasing. And we do that, again, we kind of tailor that to their level of comfort. Most people, a lot of them, see right away the benefit of going full service lease. But you also have, as we kind of talked about, the dedicated maintenance and also the full service equity or ownership plus type of product that they can use that as well to kind of test the waters and make that transfer a little more seamless, a little more easy for them to take care of.
Definitely a well thought out plan. For sure, they've covered all the bases. So as I'm listening to you talk, I'm really starting to wonder, what do you think the key differentiators are that differentiate us from the competition, like the Ryders and the Penske's?
Sure. So even though we've got a large corporate presence, we are locally owned. Each of the dealerships and affiliates are local. So if you need a local decision made, it doesn't have to go through our corporate. We're able to make those decisions quickly. And the people have been here in the community a long time. So we've got people are invested in the community. Again, kind of refer back to the stability here. We've got people who've been here a long time. We've been empowered by the dealers, the dealer principals, to make decisions quickly. And if it's something that needs to go up, the dealer principal can then get involved. I just have to walk down the hall because he's here every day. So
understood.
Yeah. So that's a big piece of it, is that you don't have to wait weeks, or even days to get a decision back when you need to know something, right? Because business doesn't wait around. You need to know. So that's a big thing.
So the core market then is the local businesses that move their own product, it sounds like.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
Okay, good. What about, do we go out on weekends and after hours and do services as well?
We do, yeah. We provide preventative maintenance through a mobile maintenance truck for customers who need that. So if you can't get in during the week, if your hours are such that your truck is unavailable except on the weekends or maybe in the evenings, we can get that done through our mobile PM service truck. Other companies do have some setups where they can, but it's not to the level that Idealease has. And we've got 3 trucks here that we use for on-site repairs or PM services. So those trucks are set up differently depending on what the needs are. But if you've got trucks that are only sitting on the weekends or further away, so we can make that happen for those customers in those situations.
And those same services are offered throughout all of the Trivista dealerships, right?
I'll be honest, I'm talking about Ools specifically. They very well might. I don't know that I can speak probably. I would guess they might be able to, but I'd be speaking a little bit out of turn if I said for sure.
But here at Ool, we have a dedicated maintenance team in-house that's strictly focused on Idealease. Okay, yep. Got it. And I know, obviously, because we're integrated with Navistar and International, we kind of view that as one-stop shopping. They're a one-stop shop service provider.
That's exactly right, and that's a big thing. So if you're working with another leasing company and they have warranty work that has to be done, that then comes to International if it's an International truck. So we see those trucks, and priority service is something that is the utmost importance to us. So our trucks, we're getting those in as quickly as possible. Then we also here at the International dealership with Trivista, we've got parts inventory, in the millions of dollars worth of stock inventory. So we've got those parts here that we can access, in a moment's notice. So we're able to get those parts and turn those trucks around as quickly as possible. And that's, again, our direct integration with International allows us to obtain those parts as quickly. And then also, again, like you said, that's part of the one-stop shopping and us being able to get.
Yeah, no, that's good. I understand. So let's switch gears a little bit. What about rental truck services? What kind of rental truck services do we provide?
So yeah, we've got a variety. Again, it's kind of reflects what our leasing fleet looks like. So we've got sleepers, day cabs, we've got reefers and box trucks, and we've got those for either long-term rental. We can do short-term daily rentals, and then of course we also keep those for substitutes in case of our lease customers have an issue where a truck is going to be down and impact potentially they're making deliveries. So we always make sure we try to keep those available for those situations.
Okay. I wondered if you could maybe just explain a little bit about what the process is, what the trucker goes through when a truck needs emergency service. Like, for example, does Idealease have a call center that handles all of those calls, or how does that process happen?
We do. We've got a 24/7 call center. It's out of Chicago, so we've got live people there sitting ready to take phone calls. You don't have to go through a bunch of prompts or anything. They're going to answer the phone. They're there even on Christmas. So that would be the phone call that you would make if you're outside of, say, 50 or 60 miles of our location. Otherwise, you're going to call in to one of our service guys first, and because that's going to be, we're going to be taking care of you most likely anyway. So if you're a little bit further out, then yes, you're going to be calling Idealnet, we call it, and there's a 1-800 number that we keep in all of our trucks.
Okay.
So they've got that right there in case of an emergency. So we've got a vendor network of 35,000 plus. So in addition to all the 430 plus Idealease locations, we've also got the vendor network. So what we're going to do through Idealnet is they're going to see where you are, and they're going to determine what is the quickest way to get you running again. So
wow.
They're not necessarily going to force you to go to a dealership unless you're close, and that's the best option. Otherwise, they're going to get you the quickest service provider within our network to get you back going. And as we say, it's making sure uptime is
the number one focus.
It absolutely is.
So even if a trucker's out on Christmas Eve at midnight in some very rural place and he breaks down, he's going to be able to get service.
He's going to call IdealNet. That's right, and they're going to call and find whatever the closest service provider is and get them on their way as quick as possible.
Wow. This is really impressive. I didn't realize how expansive our Idealease net was. Do you want to say any closing remarks, Sam, just about Idealease in general and your work here?
Again, it's about the folks here. We've got lots of really good people. We're in the community. We're going to be around when you need us. And again, we look at the partnership with our customers, and a big part of that is safety. So we also have safety seminars that we put on. We're going to be having one coming up before long. But we do those annually, and we invite all our customers to come to those. It talks about DOT stuff, and then we also have literature that they can goes out to those customers, both at the safety seminar and then weekly if you sign up for our safety bulletins. So we try to make sure our customers are up to date on the latest and greatest safety issues and DOT compliance issues. So yeah, we look at it as we're here long term for our customers.
Sounds good, Sam. Well, I've really learned a lot today, and I appreciate you sharing all the many benefits that you've shared with us about leasing through Idealease. So thanks for taking some time with us today, and we hope you've enjoyed this edition of the Truck Talk with Trivista podcast. You can find more podcast talks or general information about Trivista Companies and its many dealerships at trivistacompanies.com. Until next time, be safe out there.